You know, most fishermen you see, they'll have 10 to 12 rods out on the deck, one specific rod and size for each and every individual technique and bait. And while yes, I also do this, and I agree that this makes it very effective, especially when you're changing different techniques throughout the day, I'm making this video to highlight what the most versatile rod on the market is. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what I think is one of the biggest myths when it comes to fishing rods. And so if you're looking to buy your first rod, or you're a seasoned angler and you're just wanting to add to your rod arsenal and you need help figuring out what size you need, because one look at rods online or in a store and you're trying to figure out, what do all these sizes mean? Do I need a 7.6 heavy? Do I need a 6.11 medium heavy, medium fast? What do I choose? So in today's video, I'm going to help narrow it down for you. But let's get into this video. All right, guys, let's dive into this. So one of the first things I think about when I'm choosing a new rod is versatility. How many different baits, techniques, styles of fishing can I use on this? And keep in mind, you've got some of those special sizes like the 7.6 extra heavy, 7.11 extra heavy. Those are going to be like your frog, punching, Alabama rig specific type rods. So let's just put those out the window. Don't think about those. When I'm thinking about versatility, the one size comes to mind, and that's the 7'1" medium heavy. Now you can get away with a 7-foot medium heavy. That's a very versatile size rod too, but I like the extra inch. That's why I go with the 7'1" medium heavy. And my rod of choice is the Duckett Pro Series. And this is a fully carbon fiber rod, very super lightweight, and every single rod in the Pro Series lineup has a fast action. So what I like about this rod is it's got enough backbone and power to throw like a dragon bait, like a Texas rig, like I have rigged up right now, smaller jigs, but you can also throw moving baits very effectively because of that fast tip. It's weighted a lot lighter, in my opinion, than a lot of the other brands medium heavy. So that's why I like this. And so I've got about 10 different baits sitting right here beside me, and I've thrown them all on this specific rod so I can attest to each and every one. So we're gonna dive into those. But right now I've got this small Texas rig on it. That's primarily what I use this rod for. I've been absolutely hammering them on this little thing. Little simple old school fishing. This is a 3/16 weight, little Texas rig with Exxon center stick. I like to throw either 3/16 or a 1/4 ounce on this rod setup. Once you get above a 1/4 ounce, it starts getting a little too heavy, so I'm gonna upsize my rod. But also I've even pitched little creature baits with a 1/8 ounce weight on this rod, and it was still very effective. So primarily my Texas rig rod. Other baits that come to mind are small jigs. And while I say small jigs, this is a small little structure jig made by Tightline Jigs. It's a 3/8 ounce, and you get that little tiny crawl. That's an Exxon stealth crawl. When you're fishing jigs, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce, but once you get above up into the 1/2 ounce jig, which is what I like to throw a lot, especially in the summertime, I like to go to a heavy rod. So with the 7'1" medium heavy, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 jigs, perfect. And a swim jig. This is my #1 go-to rod for a swim jig, especially in the spring. I like to fish this up in the top of the water column with a little flapper style trailer. This is a Exxon Lures Adrenaline crawl. So I like to throw this out there and give it the Alabama twitch. So I'm picking up line as I'm twitching it. So, it's a very versatile bait, and it shows the versatility of this rod, that I can throw it out there and drag it like a football head jig, but I can also swim it on top of the water, making it more like a moving bait. Last winter, I actually threw a jerk bait on this rod a lot. This is a little 112. I've thrown the 112+1, which is a little bit deeper diving jerk bait. It's Berkeley Stunner to be exact. But normally I like a 7.3 medium heavy, but has a little bit longer tip. That way I don't get this bait popping as hard. But last winter they were really liking those hard pops. These fish were being very aggressive on Guntersville. So the 7'1" medium heavy was my go-to. I mean, yeah guys, if the versatility of this, just by listing these baits, hasn't already struck your interest, I don't know what else will, because when you can throw a jerk bait and a jig and a Texas rig all on the same rod, it's pretty impressive in my point. Also, chatterbait's very good. Now with a chatterbait, I change my rod size a lot. This is a 3/8 ounce, and I will throw this on the 7'1" medium heavy. Now honestly, it's not my go-to. I like the 7.3 medium heavy, or if I'm throwing a bigger chatterbait like a 3/4 ounce or 5/8 ounce, I'm going to go to a heavy style rod. So, you know, the chatterbait, it can definitely be used on the 7'1" medium heavy, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not my go-to on that. But another one that is a go-to is the underspin, a 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce, also just a single swimmer. You know, if this was just a swim bait head without the underspin, virtually the same bait, just the underspin has the added blade. But you know, like a 3.5 inch, 4 inch swimmer. This is an Exxon mini swimmer, 3.5 inch. But that 7'1" medium heavy is going to be very good. And a lot of times I'm throwing this thing on docks and stuff, so it's not a super long rod. You can get it in, make precise cast and flips, pitches into those docks with this thing. You know, you're fishing this is moving bait, so you've got that fast tip on the 7'1" medium heavy, and it's really going to help you get those good hook sets and not completely just rip the fish's mouth out with this. And we've got 2 more baits right here. Another one of my go-tos is the lipless for the 7'1" medium heavy. Now this is if I'm throwing a smaller one, like a 1/4 ounce. I'll even throw a 1/2 ounce sometimes if I want to get that real hard rip in and out of the grass, especially on gunnersville. Sometimes they like it very aggressive, and other times if they're on kind of like the yo-yo retrieve, you know, where you're just bringing it up and barely ripping it, I'm going to go to a longer rod because it's not going to allow me to get as hard of a rip on that bait. You know, 7'3" medium heavy with a fast tip. That's what I'm going to be doing if I'm going to be fishing this lipless a little bit less aggressive. And the last one that comes to mind is a topwater spook. I throw fluorocarbon line on all these other baits that I've talked about, but if I'm throwing the spook, just throw some braid on that reel, and a 7'1" medium heavy is going to get the job done every time. So guys, if you're in the market for a new rod, I hope this video will help you narrow down what size you want. You know, and it's personal preference for everything in the fishing industry. I could say this, and then you watch somebody else's video and they could say a different size. So at the end of the day, it's up to you what you like, what your personal preference is. Me, the 7'1" medium heavy Pro Series is the most versatile rod that I have fished, and so that's why I'm recommending it to you. But you know, if you're interested in any other of the Duckett rods, I've got a link down in the description below. You can take it and use it at checkout for 10% off any of your Duckett purchases. You know, if you're interested in the Duckett rod, I would highly recommend you take advantage of getting that discount. You know, every little bit helps, especially in an industry that is as expensive as the fishing industry. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any other opinions on what the most versatile rod is, please let me know down in the comments. You know, I love to read the comments, see what you guys think. But with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. You wanna go fishing? You wanna go fishing? You wanna go fishing? Say yeah.